and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, my name is Louise and I'm an eBay reseller. In this video today I have for you a sales video for January. Now I've tried to do it a little bit differently rather than just kind of grabbing a load of items and just sort of showing you what I've sold. I've picked out 10 items specifically. I've picked out 3 kind of bad ones that haven't earned me much profit at all. I've then picked out sort of 3 mid-range ones that have earned me some decent profit but might have sort of stuck around for a while or not earned as much as I hoped. Then I've got 3 much better ones that I'm hoping I would get all the time, that earned me either some really good profit or didn't take long to sell at all. And then my final one out of obviously the 10 items is the best sale that I made in January, based on profit. So I'm going to show you these 10 items, and above where my camera will be, I'm going to have a sort of a little box that's going to show you how much I paid for the item, how much I sold the item for, and it will also show you the gross and the net profit as well. So you can see how much I have actually had to pay in fees from that. And those fees do include eBay fees, PayPal fees, and it also does include my postage and packaging costs as well. Obviously there are other things as well, so such as like the fuel that it costs to take your parcels to the post office, or the fuel that it might take you to go and do the sourcing, or just things like that. There are other things, other aspects, but I am generally just putting my eBay fees, my PayPal fees, and my actual packaging, so my Polybags and things like that, and then actually the postage as well, because I do free postage on my items. I have to take that off any profits that I make as well. Okay, so let's have a look. So the first item that I've got here is this ASOS dress. It's kind of a lilac-y dress. You can see that I paid £2 for it. I sold it then. I took an offer for £10.22. I think I did the send offers to watchers little thing, so I had it up for £10.99, then I dropped it down to £10.22. So straight away I made £8.22, but taking off all my fees and everything, it only takes me down to £3 and a penny, which obviously isn't ideal at all. I think there are a few reasons why this one didn't go as well as I thought it would. Obviously, you know, I put it up for £10.99 straight away, but when I was in the shop I thought, you know, that's great, I'll pick that up straight away. But then actually when I looked at it a bit closer detail when I got it home, I wasn't so impressed with it. And obviously as well, my photos, as you can see, because it's a lilac coloured dress, the white background didn't do very well on this. So, you know, probably a darker background would have been better, might have made it stand out more. It didn't take long to sell though. I only listed it in November and then it sold in January, so that's not too bad. But obviously, you know, it's still a few months for it to sort of be sticking around. But for £10.99 or then £10.22, it's not too bad really. Yeah, but just wasn't great for profit. Okay, my next item that I've got here is this Roman dress. Now I quite like picking up Roman. I do quite well with Roman. It's kind of one of my bread and butter items that I do enjoy picking up. It's this lovely yellow dress. And yeah, I paid £2.99 for this. I thought, great, I'm happy. Anything Roman really, I'm happy to pick up for £2.99. I was quite happy with that. It's a Roman Originals one, so it's a bit of the older style, so it's this label here. However, when I got home, I did notice that there was a hole in it. Obviously, I did mention this in the description and I put a photo of it here. So right on the side here, you can see there, just next to the little flower, there's a little hole. As I did mention this in the description. I think that's why I sort of listed it quite low at £13.99. I probably would have put it up for more closer to £20, I think. But I just didn't want it to stick around because I couldn't be bothered to have it round just because there was a hole in it. So I thought I'd drop the price and get it gone. It was quite good though, really. I did only have it a month. So I did list it in December and it did sell in January. And to be fair, it's quite a summery dress, so I would never expected it to sell at all yet anyway. So it didn't take long to sell, which is quite good. But as I say, because of the hole, you know, I didn't expect a lot of profit. So with all the fees taken off and everything, I had £3.80 left over, which again isn't great, but you know, that's what happens when you get an item with a hole in it. But you know, I still thought I'd put it up rather than sort of going, oh, it's got a hole, let's chuck it away. You know, I still thought I'd put it up anyway. Okay, and the last one of my sort of bad items was this next dress. It was a little girl's dress. When I look back on it now, I didn't really, the pictures are a bit rubbish, aren't they? But it was a next dress, it was age 14, which I thought was actually a bit strange when I look back on it, thinking that actually this kind of dress really you'd see on like a 5 or 6 year old, something like that, maybe even younger. So it's kind of like the cutie kind of look. I wouldn't have thought a 14-year-old would wear this kind of thing, but you know. The weird thing with this one though, it had a lot of watches. I think it had like 12, 14 watches or something. It was quite a lot really. For only £15, I thought someone would have snatched it up straight away. However though, I did have it since May 2019, so it has been sticking around for a long time. I'd sent several offers to watches and all this sort of stuff, and it just wasn't moving. I paid £2.75 for it. I thought it was great when I saw it, because I thought it was a bit different, a bit more quirky, but like I said, you know, age 14, that's probably wasn't the greatest selling point, I think. But I did end up sending an offer to a watcher and sold it for £13.19. So then after all the fees and everything like that, I earned £4.79 from it. So £4.79 pure profit, that's not too bad. I mean, it's not great for obviously an item that was stuck there since May, but you know, at least it wasn't a loss completely. Okay, so the next item, which is the first of the sort of the mid-range income ones, is this one here. This is this Ted Baker coat. Now, this is obviously the bottom end of the mid-range, if that makes sense. So as you can see, I paid £10 for this item, and I sold it for £24.99. So I made, so taking off the cost, I made £14.99. Taking off the fees off that, I then made £8.39 in total. So it's not too bad. However, obviously it's a high cost initially. As soon as I saw it, I thought, oh wow, Ted Baker coat, that's brilliant. It's wool. It had this absolutely gorgeous print inside, this sort of fairgroundy thing. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it would sell straight away. So that's why I paid up for it. Paid £10 for it. And I think it actually got down to £24.99. I think I had it up higher than that initially, and I kept dropping the price because I had it since January 2019. So yeah, it'd been around quite a while really. So I think I dropped the price a few times since then, and then it finally sold. A whole 12 months later, it finally sold, and yeah, and I didn't make much from it, you know, with £8.39. So yeah, it wasn't the best sale, but it's gone. So I think next time I can still pick this up. I'm still happy with the profit that it made. However, I might sort of make sure that if I do pick this up again, it's a lower price, because obviously if I didn't pay £10 for it, I would have made much better profit from it. So I'll say, for example, I paid sort of £2, £3, £5 even, you know, I would have probably broke that £10 sort of total profit barrier. So I'm happy with it, but wasn't the best sale ever, especially as it stuck around so long. The next one, I thought I'd mix it up here and throw in a tie and show you a tie sale. I love this tie. It's as you can see, it's a Dennis the Menace tie. I sold it for £12.99, and I paid £1 for it. Most ties that I pick up are either £1 or 50p. Sometimes it can be a little bit higher, like a £1.50 or £2 or something, but nothing more than that. Sometimes it can be really low, something as low as like 10p or something like that. So, but generally they're around £1. Yeah, so this one I did pick up for £1. I generally do pick up silk ties only. However, if it's something a bit different, like this Dennis the Menace one, or something with a different character, like a Winnie the Pooh or something like that, I'll pick it up still, even if it's polyester. So I do tend to pick up those. So this one, yeah, as I say, I bought it for £1, sold it for £12.99. So after the cost, after fees and everything like that, it bought me with £7.61 profit. So this is actually a lower total profit than my previous item. However, you know, it's a much lower cost, and it stuck around for quite a while. I had it since April 2019. So it has stuck around for a while, but I didn't ever expect ties to sort of just fly out the door and be amazing. So I knew that it would be a sort of a steady sale, and I knew that it would take its time, and it kind of just fell out my store. So I'm absolutely fine with that. The fees that I've taken off this one does include the postage that I do for ties. I do a different postage for ties because they can go large letter, and every other item I send via Hermes because they're much thicker and they go via Hermes for £2.85, where with the ties, because they're less than 100 grams as well, I can send them large letters for 83p. So I did bearing that in mind in the total profit when I take it off my fees. So yeah, obviously if I'd sent it via Hermes for £2.85, it would have obviously brought it down a hell of a lot more. So yeah, I'm happy with the tie sale. It's really simple, really easy to post, package, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, so happy with that little sale. Okay, and the last one of this kind of like mid-rangey kind of ones for profit is sort of obviously the best of these three that I've shown you just. This is this David Emmanuel dress, and I thought it was absolutely gorgeous when I picked it up. Had this beautiful sort of jewelled stone thing on the waist. It's absolutely lovely, lace on the top, and then this sort of like lovely sort of chiffon-y kind of skirt part of it. This one I was really happy with. I bought it for £4.49. I did take an offer on it for £24.63. So minus the cost, minus the fees, it gave me a total profit of £12.81, which I am super happy with, because anything over the £10 mark really I'm happy with. Obviously anything over the £10 mark for normal profit I'm happy with, but when it gives me out the total profit minus in fees and everything. And also what I liked about this one is that it sold super quick. I think it sold within a week or two. So I listed it in Jan 2020 and it sold in Jan 2020, so I'm really happy with that. Quick sale, decent profit, so that's great for me. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the next three items, which are my sort of my best, kind of my really good items that I sold over January. So this one here is, it's not a massive step up from my previous one, to be honest, but I'm still quite happy with it. So I paid £5.99 for this one, so a little bit more than what I usually like to pay, but I knew that it would do quite well for me. So I took an offer on this one. As you can see, there's kind of a theme here. I like to send offers out. I took an offer of £29.03. That left me with £23.04, which then gave me a total profit then after fees of £15.06. So obviously when you look at it straight there with £32.99 and thinking literally my only take home is less than half of that, you know, it's quite heartbreaking really. But obviously I did pay £6 for the item, so that kind of knocks it down straight away. And then obviously you do have to pay your postage and your fees and stuff. So like I said earlier, I do offer free postage, so I do have to take that postage out of my profits as well. But I do put that money on top of the item price anyway. So obviously there's no such thing as free postage, is there? So obviously I do put that cost on top of the price that I've got on the listing itself. So really happy with this one though. It sold really, really quickly as well, just as the previous one. I think it sold within the week or two. I think this one was definitely a week. Yeah, I remember listing it and then selling it a couple of days later. So yeah, really happy with this one, especially as I sort of priced it high. I mean, obviously I did send it out to a watcher, but even then obviously someone's watched it straight away and was really interested in it straight away. So you know, I'm quite happy with that. And for £15 pure profit, you know, I'm happy with that. That's fine. Okay, I'd also thought I'd like to show you a hat sale that I've had this month as well. Hats are a little bit sort of dead this month, to be honest, because obviously what do people want hats for around this time of year? So it's more when it starts to become weddings and the races and all that sort of stuff. That's when people like to obviously buy the hats for. Obviously weddings do happen all year round, so it's not just the summer seasons now, but they are a little bit slower sales, you know, this time of year. So however, this one I was super happy with. Somebody messaged me to say, is there any, you know, is there a better price that you can do for this? And as you can see, I paid £4.38 for it, so I was like, yeah, that's fine, I can do a better price. So I knocked it down for £40 and said, look, that's the best price I can do, I hope that helps. And yeah, and then she took it. So I was obviously on a happy day there, knocking off £5 for it, but you know, I paid £4.38 for it. And obviously the weird price for the £4.38 is because I bought several hats, and I said, what's the best you can do if I buy all your hats? And then obviously I got the main cost of it all and then divided it by however many hats I had, so I ended up with £4.38. So yeah, so sold it for £40, minusing off my cost and everything like that, taking off the fees, it then gives me £26.03 pure profit. Super happy with that. I'd love to have that kind of sale all day long. But yeah, obviously that doesn't happen, does it? So the great thing with these as well is that they still do go with the same sort of postage as my normal postage, because it does fit into a sort of a smaller box. Even though they're quite big, they kind of go flat enough to be able to fit into a small parcel for Hermes. And because they're under 2 kilos, I mean, they're probably weigh nothing. They're probably way lighter than a standard dress, to be honest, because they're so light. So they're fine to go with the standard Hermes parcels, unless obviously you decide to put it in a giant box. But yeah, so it works absolutely fine. So obviously when I sell a hat, I do show all angles of it. And then I also do show obviously the labels and then any measurements. So I do measure the sort of the width and the depth almost of the hat. So as you can see here, the width was a bit longer than the actual the depth of it, so the front to back. Because a lot of hats are a bit more oval shaped as well, so I do sort of show both of them, and then I also show the measurements of the inside of it as well, to show, because obviously some people have different size heads, don't they? You know, I've got quite a small head, I think, so when I put on hats, you know, they do sort of slide on my head rather than fit nicely. And obviously some people who have a much bigger head, you know, you don't want it to sort of sit on top of your head either, so I always find it important to put that in if you can put it in as well. So yeah, really happy with that sale, and I'm looking forward to getting some sales like that again as it gets closer to wedding season as well. So my last one of the top range items that I sold this month was these trousers. I paid £1 for these. I saw them in store, brand new with tags, just hung up on the rail. And I think it was like all these trousers were £1 or something like that. I saw them, I thought, oh, I'd never heard of them at the time. I looked at them, I thought, they're a walking trouser. I know how expensive walking trousers can be, so I thought, brand new with tags, let's have a look. I found out that they're even more than £50. So yeah, so I bought them up. Obviously I picked them up, and I put a stock image photo on. I don't always do that because I like to show my own items and show the sort of the colours that it comes out at and things like that. And also I find that when I'm personally looking through items, if I see a stock image, I think it's some big fancy seller who's and I want to kind of get it for cheaper, you know. So I don't tend to put on the stock image photos. It kind of deters some people, I think. Some people obviously they don't care, but I just felt like this photo really represented the item a little bit better than my sort of flat image that you can see there. So yeah, I don't always do it, but you know, sometimes I do if the stock images are better than my photos, or show the item a bit better. So I included obviously all the photos. It had all the tags, all extra buttons and everything, showed measurements and all sorts of stuff, and it even had a bit at the bottom as well where you could cut your own hem to the length that your leg is and things like that. So it encourages that as well, which is great. So yeah, so I paid £1 for it, sold it for $49.99. Taking off the cost, taking off the fees, it then left me with £37.93. So again, super duper happy with that. Really happy with that sale. But yeah, it did take a bit longer to sell though. I did list it in April 2019, so it did take a lot longer to sell. I thought it might have sold a bit quicker than that, but obviously for something a bit more pricey, you know, I can see why it stuck around a little bit longer. Okay, and then my final sale, my best sale of the month, was this coat here. This is my boomerang coat. It has come back to me about 3 or 4 times. Every time, the reason being because it didn't fit them. Whether that was too big or too small, I'm not sure. However, it was an oversized jacket. It was advertised as an oversized jacket. So if it was because it was too big for them, then, you know, it's oversized. You know, it's supposed to be baggy, but you know, you can't win with everybody. So yeah, it has come back to me 3 or 4 times, but this time, fingers crossed, it is staying away and it's not coming back to me. I did take an offer for it for £99. Again, somebody did message me and asked if there's a better price that I could do, so I gave it to her for £99, and I said, like, you know, basically take it, I don't want it anymore. So yeah, so I just said, yeah, this is the best I can do, whatever, take it. And yeah, and so she accepted the sale. As you can see, I did pay £30 for it, and the reason why I paid £30 for it wasn't in a charity shop. It was in the TK Maxx yellow label sale. I think it was yellow label, unless it was just knocked down several times. So I thought this was a great find, and the RRP on the actual label was £228 originally. So yeah, so I thought, yeah, I think I can make something out of that. So buying it for 30 and its RRP is 228, I thought I'll be alright here. As you can see, there you go, I've put some stock images here, but I just didn't feel like they did it justice enough, so I thought I'd still stick them in at the end in case somebody wanted to have a look at them, to see it on an actual person. But I kind of didn't feel like that represented the coat very well, because it was quite oversized, and this was an extra small as well, so I thought it was quite big really for an extra small. So I did put in here as well 8, 10 and 12, because I thought, you know, it would fit an 8 or a 10 and possibly even a 12. I think I tried it on and it was still a bit baggy on me, so that's why I kind of put all them range of sizes in as well. So yeah, really happy with that sale. So pure profit taken home after obviously taking off the cost and things like that. It leaves me then with £50 and 74 pence. So super happy with that, but obviously, you know, with having to pay £30 for it initially, was quite a big investment. I say big investment, you know, it didn't cost me millions, but you know, £30 to put into it, and then obviously having to wait, because I bought this back in May 2019, so obviously had to wait for it to sell, and obviously it sold several times. I think it only took a few months to sell initially, and then was sent back, and then, you know, I think it's taken a few months to sell each time, so I think that's why it's been stuck around for so long, because obviously I've had to relist it every time it gets returned back to me. So yeah, that is it. That is my sales for January 2020. I'm hoping I can get these done every single month, going through and showing you kind of what my worst items were, my best items, and sort of show you sort of the range in between as well. I just feel like this sort of represents selling on eBay much better than just showing you a load of items randomly. You know, it shows that you can sell rubbish items and sometimes make a loss on them, and then there are others that you can say, wow, look how amazing that sale was. So I'm not always going to show you the best, I do want to show you the not so great things as well. So let me know in the comments below what you think about this kind of style of sales video. Let me know if you think it works, if there's anything that you think I should change, and also let me know in the comments below what your best sale of January was as well. So thank you very much for watching as always, and I will see you soon.